Okay. So before we get this thing going, I've had breakfast and like 3 bowls, so I'm a little pumped up. I hope that's okay with you guys. I'd like to get your blood moving. See, in the Northwest, we do something called the Vemma battle cry. And what that means is you basically scream Vemma at the top of your lungs because we want to get our teams feeling comfortable being uncomfortable. And the first way to do it is a battle cry. So I'm going to go ahead and embarrass myself in front of the 3,500 of you right now, doing it first as an example. And then I'd like all of you guys to do it on the count of 3. So I'm going to do it first so you can watch. Vemma! All right, everyone stand up. All right, this is going on Instagram, so on 3. 1, 2. Give yourself a round of applause. This is wild. So, I know my topic is the power of thinking positive. And I was positively thinking about the subject of how I want to talk about this. And what I realized was I really want to cover this the best way possible. I've talked about the importance of embracing the negative. So how you perceive failure and how you can embrace that failure yourself. And one thing I really thought about that all these people have done in very successful ways, they've learned that when you have a goal, any type of goal, what you don't ask yourself is, how do I get that goal? What you gotta ask yourself is, who do I have to become? You see, you don't want $1 million. You want the value of the person you are when you have that in your checkings account. You don't wanna hit pinnacle. You want the value of that amount when you're staring yourself in the mirror knowing I did it, and it feels good to say something and be congruent with what I do. So when Michelangelo sculpted St. Peter out of marble, everyone goes, how did you do that? It's incredible. And he looked at everyone and goes, what are you talking about? He was there the whole time in the marble. I took off the excess pieces. So Comer covered it. We're over this, man. It's not the Alex Morton show. It's not the Brad Alexander show. It's not about Luke Kish, myself. It's about you. I didn't even have $500 in my checkings account before Vemma. You hear Diego's story, but you get direct knowledge from people that aren't just making money, they have the time freedom. And you start chipping away at that marble. So when I was in Munich, I was in Europe for over a month, I just got back, and Darren Hardy was talking in Europe, and he really did change my life because he said something. He said something I'll never forget. If you want people to do something, the quickest way to get someone to do what you want is to do it yourself. Lead by example. So each one of you has your own organization. Now, if you're positive all the time, it's probably gonna be a positive group of people, but they're always emulating what you do all the time. So in that sense, I'm gonna go over a little story. My dad was finishing out, getting his PhD at UCLA. He had his last year. He had a little bit of extra time, so he volunteered at the terminal ward in Los Angeles Hospital. And back then, in like the 70s, on the 3rd floor, it said terminal ward, which is where people would go if they had about 3.5 to 4 months to live. And ironically, knowing you have 3.5 to 4 months to live and you're going to a terminal ward where that's where people go that have 3.5 to 4 months to live, how long do you think the people lived that were there? 3.5 to 4 months. It's weird how that works, right? And when he was there, he met 2 people that changed his life. First person was at bed 1 in room 1. Second was at bed 7 in room 7. First person was 41 years old and had pancreatic cancer. And he drowned people with negativity. All the time he talked about what wouldn't work, complained, it was infectious. When he wanted to get the nurse's attention, he would grab a tray and throw it and scream and yell at them. He talks about how frustrated he was. They wouldn't see his daughters graduate college. He wouldn't be able to see his wife. And yet, ironically, they barely came to see him because he drowned them with negativity. And then 6 rooms down, my dad met someone in room 7, bed 7. 41 years old, pancreatic cancer, yet whenever you walked into his room, he had a warm smile on his face. He greeted you with some very open, welcoming eyes. He was infecting people with positivity. Even though he was sick, he would get in his wheelchair, wheel around the terminal ward, and spend his time with children in the ward, telling them stories, making balloon animals, trying to make them feel as good as he could. And so when his family came, they spent time reading poetry, being emotional, and really just loving each other a lot. And so my dad looked at bed 7 and bed 1 and talked to the guy at bed 7 and said, how are you able to do this? How are you able to have this type of positivity? And he taught my dad something. 35 years later, both people died. But this is the most important thing I could say. Both were in pain. Only one was suffering. Pain is an experience. Suffering is a choice. And I'll be completely honest with you guys. When I got into this thing, I was bed one. I complained, I focused on what didn't work, I was frustrated, and I didn't understand how to make this thing happen. I was like bed one. And my dad, he's like, look, I'm gonna teach you something that all the gurus do, all the best. It's something they know that really helps everyone. The Darren Hardys, the Bob Proctors. It's 2 words, just 2 words. And if you can learn these 2 words, whenever you feel like you're failing, whenever you feel like you're messing up, something doesn't work the way you want, if you can master these 2 words, you'll be the most successful, opulent, and wealthy person on the planet. You guys wanna know? You guys wanna know? All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna say the first word, you're gonna repeat it after me. Then I'm gonna say the second word, you're gonna repeat it after me. Then we're gonna say it 3 times. All right, you guys ready? So. What? So what? So what? So what? So what? Someone doesn't show up to a meeting. So what? Someone says this is a pyramid scheme. So what? Someone hates on this. This is what I need you guys to understand. I've had 13,000 people go in through my organization. I have 5,000 actually building the business. Think about that, guys. That's not 8,000 failures. That's 8,000 learning experiences. See, when Thomas Edison tried to get the light bulb 9,999 times, a reporter said, let me ask you something. What does it feel like to fail 9,999 times? And Edison looked at him and goes, what? I successfully learned what doesn't work 9,999 times, and now I am closer to being where I am today. So we have some big things coming in the YPR in the next 36 months. But I'll tell you what, you need to ask yourself, are you gonna be bed 1 or bed 7? Because there's things that are gonna happen that are completely out of your control. Completely out of your control. But every single one of you have an organization in your business, whether it's 1 person or 15,000. And how you project yourself, how you hold yourself, how you speak, the time you spend, your 86,400 seconds in a day, is gonna be emulated and seen by your entire business. Everyone is gonna follow that. So if you wanna know how to lead people, you have to look in the mirror first. I was in Europe for a month, and my boy Nick Burek went executive to ambassador in 56 days. 56 days. This last week he cycled 170 times. And I said, what do you think we should do back in the States? And he said, well, here's the thing. You get on board in Vemma, right? And you are so positive, but as soon as you fail, you got that lottery ticket of friends, they tell you, no, I don't want to do it. And that positive thinking, because it's powerful, turns negative really fast. And in the organization, you spend time talking about the people that said no, negatively. And guess what you build? A hater. I'm here to break it to you. You don't have haters. They're fabricated. Some of you are like, oh, he's got so many haters. Don't flatter yourself. Probably like 2. You don't have 500 haters. It's not true. But you can spend your time, which is the most valuable asset on the planet, focused on the 1 hater or the millions of people you need to get in your organization to take you where you want to go. And it starts with having the courage to talk to people in your business that are focused on people that told them no. Look, man, we're gonna waste our time talking about this, but the truth of the matter is, we have a business of people we gotta serve. There's people that are thriving for this. They're surviving to thrive, and they owe this to us, and we gotta make it happen for them. So what I wanna leave you with is, if you really wanna start thinking positive, accept the fact that that person you wanna be, that Michelangelo, all right? That person you wanna become, when you are that person, here's one step ahead, all right? We always say, it's not about the goal you get, it's the person you become. Here's the thing, when you're that person, guess what? You were that person all along. You were always that person. You always had that value. You just didn't know it yet. See what I'm saying? That positive person, you don't have to go become that positive person. You are that person. You have to chip away the habits in your life, the social programming that was there before, and take off the layers of the onion, that marble that was there all along. So I want you guys to understand, this is going without me, with or without you, with or without everyone. And just because we're at this event, it doesn't mean it's all gonna be flowery success. Things are gonna happen. But it's not about just thinking positive. It's how you embrace the negative that'll take you wherever you wanna go. So know your value, serve your team, get fired up for change, because this is not one of those things. And I know you're not bed 1, you're bed 7. So good night, thank you guys.